Last stop on Market Street. Yeah, I know. Here's the deal. My mama always told me to look at all the pretty things in life. But me, I'm more into stuff. I mean, sure, this lemonade is cool, but imagine if I had a hoverboard. Or this flower girl is cute, but wouldn't a robot dog be neat? That's why when my grandma said she wanted to take me to see something beautiful, I was like, no thanks. But then she took me on a surprise trip on the number 23 bus. And this was no ordinary bus. Oh no, this bus was magic. See, every time the bus stopped, we didn't just change streets, we changed worlds. And each world showed me something new and amazing. Like at the first stop, everybody on the street was singing. The flower seller sang about the perfect bouquet, the old man sang about his aches and pains. Even the dog sang about chasing his tail, and it made me think maybe I could sing, too. Then we rode on, and soon we were at a park with a big sign that said, free hugs. And I was like, weird, everyone's hugging everyone. So I asked a woman if I could have one, and she was like, sure. And then she gave me the biggest hug ever, and I thought, maybe I could hug someone, too. But before I could do that, the next stop came, and we got off the bus, and it seemed like everyone here was floating. There were these giant balloons keeping them up in the air. And I was like, how are they doing that? And a lady saw me looking and she was like, want to try? And I was like, sure. And so she tied some balloons to me and lifted me up, and I floated right alongside her, and I thought, maybe I could float, too. But then we reached our next stop, and I got off the bus and onto the sidewalk, and I was like, whoa, everyone's reading. So I went into the nearest shop and asked, what's going on here? And the lady behind the counter was like, don't you get it? This is a library. And I was like, oh, you mean like a bookstore? And she was like, no, silly, this is a library. And then she showed me a book and said, see that story over there? Well, he wants to come out. And then as she opened the book, the character jumped right out, waving his arms and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she said, yeah, all the stories come to life here. And then another lady walked in and she was like, hey, has anyone seen Cinderella? And the lady behind the counter was like, she's right over there signing autographs. And then we all watched as Cinderella waved to a bunch of kids. And I was like, wow, I wish I had a fairy godmother. And the lady behind the counter was like, well, actually, she's right over there helping out. And then I saw my chance. I ran over to her and asked, can you make me a prince? And she was like, sure. And with a flick of her magic wand, I was a prince. And I could feel my hair turning into a luscious mane, my clothes changing into royal garb. And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Then I heard a voice and I turned around and saw a lady holding a tray of food. She was like, hey, Prince, you want to help me hand out food to the people in need? And I was like, do I have to? And she was like, no, you don't have to. You get to. Then I saw all these happy faces and I thought, maybe being a prince isn't about having a fancy crown, but about helping others. After that, we got on the bus and headed home. And as we drove through the streets, I looked around and I noticed all the beautiful things. I mean, I'd seen this stuff before, but I'd never noticed it. It wasn't that the city had changed, it was that I had. And I knew then that the best adventures aren't about the destination, they're about the journey, and the best things in life aren't things at all. They're the friends you make along the way. That's all for now. See you next time.